Now listen carefully, and don't just listen. Keep every layer of your existence wide open to this truth. Because what you are about to hear in the next few minutes will not only change the direction of your life, it will alter the very structure of your soul. And this is not a metaphor, not a spiritual poem, not some psychological trick people use to soothe their wounded spirits. This is a literal, real, cosmic level declaration, after which no human being can ever return to their old, small, limited version of themselves. And if within you there truly exists that spark the world has tried 1,000 times to bury, then the next words are going to turn that spark into a volcanic eruption. I am about to reveal to you a secret that heavenly entities debated for 6,000 years. A secret forbidden to be given to human consciousness. A secret allowed only to the 12 beings who have been granted the power to hold the primordial energy of the universe. The primordial carriers, and all this time, you believed you were just an ordinary person, tangled in the complications of life. But the reality is so far from that if your consciousness had not been prepared by now, you would have fainted the moment you read these words, because you accomplished something even the High Council of the Gods considered impossible. And this event occurred 11 days ago on Tuesday, when you were behaving like a normal human being, having a normal day, having a small, ordinary conversation. But in that conversation, you spoke a sentence that stopped the entire heavenly operation, gathered the full council of Archangels into an emergency chamber, and triggered that alarm which had last rung in the year 1389, when a primordial carrier accidentally shattered an interdimensional barrier. You kept treating this incident like a joke, those few seconds of dizziness, that 2-second blackout-like sensation, that strange heat traveling up your neck. You thought it was fatigue, stress, or maybe dehydration. But the truth is that in that moment, you died, literally, medically, biologically. Your heartbeat stopped, your cells entered the death sequence, and your soul had already begun the detachment process. But right then, a protocol within you activated Clause 7.3, something you were never aware of, something created exclusively for primordial carriers. And when it activates, the definition of death changes. The meaning of time changes, dimensional boundaries collapse, and you receive resurrection instant, seamless, complete, without delay, without damage, without warning. And now you must be wondering why all this happened to you, why you possess this level of existence, why you were given this power, how your words tore through a dimensional obstruction. So listen. I will tell you the full truth of that moment. The moment that seems like nonsense to you because all you did was speak 19 words. Yes, exactly 19. Not one less, not one more. And those 19 words were so perfectly aligned, so mathematically precise, so synchronized with an ancient celestial code that they touched a dimension forbidden to human awareness. A dimension accessed only by beings above the 7th level. A dimension where the universe writes its own structural laws. And when your voice produced that vibration, in that exact moment, you tore through the veil, separating two realities that had remained sealed for 6,000 years. Understand the weight of this. You committed no sin, broke no religious law, violated no social norm. You broke a foundational rule of the universe, one that states humans cannot speak such sentence structures because their consciousness is not capable of reaching that level. But you did. You spoke without planning, without intention, casually, naturally, and the moment you spoke, that vibration registered through the celestial dimensions and triggered an immediate red alert. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, all of them rose from their places and went straight to the council chamber, because this event wasn't a mistake. it was the sign that the 12th primordial carrier had awakened. And according to the ancient records, when the 12th awakens, the cosmic cycle completes. And this completion brings either annihilation or recreation. It depends on the path chosen by the carrier you. And now you wonder how such a huge consequence emerged from such a small moment. So hear this clearly. The person who was listening to your sentence at that moment had a consciousness on the verge of overload. Their energy field was expanding, their frequency rising so fast that sensitive individuals within 3 kilometers unconsciously felt the vibration. And during that exact moment, your consciousness slipped between dimensions. That's why you were clinically dead for 3.2 seconds. And when the celestial scan occurred, this event was recorded under Dimensional Barrier Violation Carrier's Temporary Death, the highest category of alert. A category so severe it halts every heavenly operation. Understand the scale. Angels paused their assignments. Archangels stopped their campaigns. Celestial structures froze in place. All because one human being spoke 19 words capable of opening the cosmic code, and that human was you. That is why on Tuesday, at precisely 3:42 a.m., an emergency meeting was called, attended by all 7 archangels: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Chamuel, Jophiel, Zadkiel, and the agenda was one single question. How did this happen? Gabriel stated that according to every known training system, every ancient lineage, every energetic discipline, you were unqualified for 7th dimensional access. Raphael explained that stabilizing the person who received the knowledge took 6 hours. Yet the carrier, you resurrected yourself without any divine assistance. Uriel said this could not be a design error, because in the last 3 years, you have committed exactly 28 violations, and Tuesday's event was the 6th. Then they examined the ancient archives, and there it was, Clause 7.3, granting the carrier unlimited permission to violate dimensions and an automatic resurrection protocol, without restrictions. Jophiel declared, "This is the primordial carrier," and silence filled the chamber, that sacred silence that emerges only when the gods realize history has shifted. Michael fell to his knees because recognizing that the 12th carrier has awakened means the chain of 44 violations has begun, and the final, the 44th, will saturate a 500-kilometer radius with knowledge up to the 9th dimension. This will not be like the fall of Atlantis. This will be a controlled recreation. And now I tell you the truth behind why your life has never been normal, why you broke, why you rose again, why you were pushed into places ordinary people never dare enter, why your challenges, your losses, your pain were always far greater than those of others, because you were never created for a normal life. You were never permitted to live as ordinary. You are one of the 12 beings carrying the primal energy of the cosmos. And when you struggle, the struggle is not against you. It is the unlocking of your potential. You do not break, you expand. You do not tire, you transform. You do not fall, you shift dimensions. And now you wonder what comes next. So listen, what comes next will burn away your fears, your limits, your doubts, because the 6th violation was only the beginning. The 30th is coming, and it is the moment you will truly feel your power for the first time. It will not frighten you. It will awaken you. Your body will heat. Your vision will sharpen. Your voice will change. People will not be able to see you the way they once did. And the 44th violation, that is the moment when your entire life, your entire purpose, your entire existence will reveal its true definition. You are not who you were thought to be. You are the one who was chosen. You are the one death bowed to but could not stop. You are the one whose voice tore through dimensions. You are the one whose 19 words rewrote history. So now rise, because your story has just begun. Now, do you truly understand the catastrophic difference between a normal human mistake that causes a few minutes of inconvenience and the violation of a cosmic law so foundational that it halts the entire heavenly realm in one instant? Where a simple human slip-up leaves you embarrassed or teaches you a small lesson, but the other, the one you triggered, forces the Archangels to convene an emergency council on Tuesday at exactly 3:00 a.m. because you unknowingly caused an event that has no precedent in the last 6,000 years of cosmic archives. And exactly 11 days ago on Tuesday, while doing something so ordinary, so painfully normal, that you didn't even consider it worth remembering, you broke a rule written before this planet cooled and released its first breathable air. I am not talking about a moral error you could confess and clear away. I am not talking about a crime that causes temporary guilt. I am talking about a divine operation in which one casual sentence from you tore the dimensional partition that kept two realities permanently apart. Realities that were never meant to intersect. And when those realities collided, only because of your words, heaven literally inverted itself. This was not a metaphor, not symbolic language. The pillars of celestial energy structures collapsed like the final breath of a dying titan. Structures that had upheld millennia of cosmic operations fell apart in the same instant, like an ancient temple breaking under a 9.5 earthquake. Even more terrifying than Tuesday's energy shift is the revelation that will shake you what rule you broke. How those 7 minutes of conversation triggered a chain that forced the Celestial Council to rewrite protocols thousands of years old. Why during that conversation, your heart stopped for 3 seconds, and how the clauses within you, unknown to you, resurrected you instantly. And that your cosmic identity is such that even the Archangels trembled upon recognizing it, the identity stating, you are one of the 12 beings known as the primordial carriers in the 6,000-year cosmic cycle. Stay until the end, because I will also tell you what physical signs your body showed when your heart stopped for 3 seconds that Tuesday night. Why 3 celestial entities were stripped of their positions for failing to stop you. And why Archangel Michael fell to his knees when your identity was confirmed. And also what the upcoming violation number 6 will unleash on Tuesday, a storm so immense that the fall of Atlantis would look like a practice drill. If 11 days ago on Tuesday, you had a conversation in which you spoke a sentence so unexpected that even you were surprised, where your voice carried a power you didn't know you possessed, and in that exact moment, you felt a 2-second dizziness, so quick you doubted it even happened then, right 777. Now listen to me with extraordinary attention, because all of this will sound impossible until every piece falls into place. 11 days ago on Tuesday, you had a conversation. Maybe with someone who always seeks advice from you. Maybe an unexpected encounter. Maybe a phone call just 7 minutes long. But in those 7 minutes, you spoke exactly 19 words, not one less, not one more. Those 19 words carried such precise sequence, such specific energy, such unknown yet pure intention, that they pierced the dimensional veil, separating human consciousness from forbidden celestial knowledge. And what was contained in those 19 words? Truth humanity is not permitted to express. Understanding held only by beings beyond the 7th dimension. A secret stamped in the heavenly archives as forbidden for incarnated consciousness. And you said it as casually as mentioning the weather on a Tuesday morning. But that was the moment history changed. That was the moment the barrier cracked, not slowly, not gently, but as if an invisible force fired a bullet through glass. And through that fracture, for exactly 4.3 seconds, flowed knowledge meant only for humanity's highest states of consciousness. And in dimensional time, 4.3 seconds equals nearly 700 hours of information. The person who heard your words, their mind was on the brink of